Former Louisville police officer Mark Handy was accused of framing innocent men and sending them to prison for murder. Now he'll be spending 1 year behind bars.
Edwin Chandler spent 9 years in prison and another 7 on parole for a crime he did not commit. Chandler was convicted after former Detective Mark Handy testified Chandler had knowledge of a murder that no one else could have known. But more than 25 years later, Handy pled guilty to perjury.
It's been a very, very long time. It's been a difficult road to travel. It's been very, very hard to navigate.
Handy also pled guilty to tampering with evidence for taping over a witness interview that would have exonerated Keith West. West spent 7 years in prison before being exonerated.
Chandler, who was convicted of murder in 1995 and exonerated in 2009 after serving 10 years in prison, had agreed to the terms of the plea agreement. He says Handy's sentence pales in comparison to his and the other victims' suffering.
And the magnitude and the weight of this is immeasurable. We'll never be able to get back what we've lost in this.
It was a combination of 62 years that were served by these men, and he only got 1.
Chandler told the court he was disappointed it had taken the criminal justice system this long to act on Handy. He says Commonwealth's attorney Tom Wine had decided to not pursue a case against Handy in 2016, and the U.S. Attorney's Office also dropped the case in 2017, before then Attorney General Andy Beshear appointed Shane Young as a special prosecutor in 2018, more than 2 decades after Chandler was first convicted.
They protected a white officer, and for what? My life don't matter? Evidently it don't, because it's taken 30 years. These lives have been touched. All of these people here have been touched by one officer. It shouldn't be this way. We shouldn't be going through this.
Well, I think this gives Mr. Chandler some closure, it gives Mark some closure, and we can all move on. Well, I think this gives Mr. Chandler some closure, it gives Mark some closure, and we can all move on.